All right, everybody, welcome to this webinar. I am super excited to be able to share this information with you tonight. And I've got one of our good friends on this as well, Dr. Sveta Silverman. And I'll introduce her in a little bit here, and she's going to walk you through kind of why we're so excited on the science side of things. But first, I really want to take you back to 2011, where Michelle, my wife, and I first saw this information. We live in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and we got asked to come to a meeting by our friend Nikki Elsing to go listen to a cardiologist talk about this breakthrough technology. And I'll be the first to admit that I was telling Michelle, no, it's okay, you go ahead, you go. And she really wanted me to come and listen to the information because she knew that Nikki wouldn't just show us anything, right? She was a dietitian at the Heart Hospital here, and she's always inundated with the newest and the greatest thing. And we knew that it kind of annoyed her. And so if she was bringing something to us, we knew that there was something special behind it, and it was something that we should probably pay attention to. And so tonight, as you listen to this information, I really challenge you to be open-minded about what you're hearing and really look at the science that Sveta is going to talk to you about. Look at, the opportunities that's behind knowing about something before the average person, and just really ask yourself, what if? What if the information that you hear about tonight is accurate? What if it's true? How could that change not only your health, but how could it change your overall life? And I thank God every single day that Michelle and I had the opportunity to hear about this information. And we're also super thankful that we have a platform that now we can share this information with the world. We're literally impacting tens of thousands of people every single month, and it's going to continue to grow. And when you really get down to what this is, you guys, it starts with this ABC video that we saw back in 2011 that originally aired in 2005. And you might be thinking to yourself, okay, we're in 2019. Why is a video from 2005 important? Well, the reality is what they thought they had their hands on then was amazing. It was absolutely incredible, but it was honestly the tip of the iceberg. The science that's happened since that video really has blown out any of the expectations that they ever had. But this video really lays the groundwork to what we have our hands on and why it's so important. It's an investigative report that happened in 2005. John Quinones comes in with ABC investigative reporting. And if you know anything about exposés or investigative reporting, bad news sells better than good news, right? Their whole objective is to poke holes in the claims that companies are making and then kind of turn the cameras back on them and say, now what? Everything you've been telling people is not true. Now what do you have to say? And they're chasing the CEO down in a parking lot with their camera crew. Well, when you watch this video, you're going to see that the exact opposite happens. Everything that the company was claiming was not only accurate, but it was better than what they had told ABC that it was going to be. So I want to start with that. Then I'll kind of, I'll introduce you to Dr. Sveta Silverman. She's going to bring you up to speed on where the science is and where we're headed. And then I'm going to wrap things up here at the end. But let's go back to this ABC investigative report so you can see what we saw a few years back.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig.
Dr. McCord, okay.
I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist.
This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test.
Yeah, there we go. It wouldn't be the first time I've given blood for this company.
They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress, and we all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells.
So, doctor, how often do I take these?
And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment.
Doesn't taste bad.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes. So you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks.
Even mental disease.
Yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
Dr. James Crapo with the National Jewish Medical Center in Denver is also researching Protandim for the company. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would. I can't guarantee it's going to extend your life. I can't guarantee it's going to eliminate any diseases or cure any diseases.
But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
The company that makes Protandim says its tests show the pill, made from ingredients used for centuries, is absolutely safe. But because it's being sold as a nutritional supplement and not a drug, Protandim does not need FDA approval for safety.
It's the little yellow pill that scientists say could eliminate chronic diseases and help you live well into your hundreds. Quinones has been taking Protandim for 2 weeks now and tells Extra,
I am sleeping better. I feel a lot better and also energized when I do wake up.
You know, as a patient advocate, I stumbled upon Protandim almost 3 years ago. Someone introduced me to Protandim. I just looked at the research and figured out, hey, wait a minute, I have to take 360 oranges in one day to get the same effect of one pill. So antioxidants. Okay, these are still good, right?
Oh, not only are they good, but we breathed a whole new life into this topic. We now know that you can actually boost your own body's defenses without even just taking vitamin C by eating lots of colorful fruits and vegetables. But there's also a new supplement on the market called Protandim that is made from an extract of herbs that actually upregulates and boosts your natural manufacturing of antioxidant enzymes.
Wow.
So this is going to reduce those harmful free radicals, reduce some of that cell damage associated with disease, and this is a double thumbs up.
How do you find the energy to keep doing it night after night? We get a lot of comments. So people have been emailing me and saying they love how you look, like you're ageless. It's incredible. So
I have a secret.
What is your secret?
I have a secret formula, and it's a company called LifeVN. They came up with a product called Protandim. Now, what causes the aging process is free radicals in our body, oxidative stress. This Protandim stuff, I've been taking it for 2 years.
We have it on the table right now.
Clinically proven to slow the aging process down. It reduces the oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. So I tested it, and it works. And the nice thing, it's not pharmaceutical. It's real food.
I'm going to have to give it a try.
All right, I love that. I love that. Did you hear what Donnie said at the end there? Clinically proven to slow the aging process. I mean, how cool is that? And I am so honored, again, like I said at the beginning, to be able to share this information with you tonight with Dr. Sveta Silverman. Sveta, you guys, she is one of the leading authorities on this technology in the world. We're talking about NRF2 technology as the flagship around what our company's based on. And she's actually presented and been at both of the worldwide conferences, the first two conferences that have been held on NRF2. The first one in Cambridge, the second one in Madrid. So she knows what she's talking about. She knows the science. She knows the papers. Dr. Sveta, when she originally went to medical school in Russia, when she moved to Canada, she actually had to go back to medical school to practice medicine in Canada. So she's not only been through medical school once and became a pediatric surgeon, but then she went back and in Canada became a surgical pathologist. So my honor and my pleasure to introduce one of my good friends, Sveta Silverman. Take it away.
Well, thank you very much, Shawn. The honor is actually all mine because, you know, you're my teacher. Despite that you're much younger than I am, you are still my teacher. You're my mentor, and you're my friend. Good evening, guys. So let me start sharing the screen. Awesome. And let's just start from the end. Let's don't go. So there you go. So, guys, despite that Shawn told me a little bit about myself, so I am indeed a conventional doctor. I am indeed a very, very proud MD. Yes, double trained, Russia board certified and Canadian board certified physician. And in 2004, my life changed. My mother was diagnosed with deadly cancer and she passed away. And what happened is in 2004, I keep telling people conventional medicine failed me. Conventional medicine failed me, and I failed to save my mom. And that's how I started my journey into being proactive. So my mantra is being proactive. The best cure of the disease is a prevention of the disease. So of course, I teach healthy food and healthy lifestyle and a healthy mind and meditation. And in 2013, the last part of this regimen came to my life. In 2013, I was introduced to LifeVantage by incredible elite Pro 8 Marisa Harrelson, who since then became my very, very close friend and also one of my mentors. Now, guys, let me tell you, an MD doesn't need to do supplements. However, as a proactive, and my equation is health and quality of life equals choices and knowledge. So let me tell you one thing. As this last part of I never called LifeVantage products supplements. We are not supplements. We are cellular boosters. We're cellular upregulators. And I knew the same day. The funny part is Shawn went to the presentation, which was done by Dr. Mark Gordon. I went to my first presentation that was done by Dr. Mark Gordon. How coincidental that is. So, and I knew that I wanted NRF2 Protandim in my body the same day. But I had no idea per se why and stuff. So then through the learning, the journey since 2013 till now, why? As a physician, I'm so excited not only to teach our products, but to do the business, because via doing the business, I have an ability to change the world and introduce so many people. This is the main concept. The main concept evolves around aging or anti-aging and reducing of chronic inflammation. So what do? Everyone wants to be to preserve the youth. So the thing is, can we age chronologically, being biologically younger? Absolutely we can. If we start acting on all these parts, and guess what? Whatever we have with LifeVantage products, we address every point that is on this slide. Why? Ask yourself a question. Why do we call ourselves biohackers? Why do we call LifeVantage as a nutrigenomic company? Well, because our blueprint of a DNA at 20,000 genes, it's a blueprint, it's a script. It's a script. And what do you do with the script? You can modify the script. And it's up to you what kind of footnotes you put on the script. You can adversely modify your script, or you can positively modify the script. So with our life choices and with our cellular upregulators, that's how we are biohackers, and that's how LifeVantage is nutrigenomic. So for second part is chronic inflammation. The root cause of chronic inflammation is cellular damage, or otherwise known oxidative stress or relentless, continuous, consistent free radical barrage, which is caused by all of this. Absolutely, the analogy is in the rusting. We age because we are rusting, and then what do we forget to do? What do you do with your car when your car is rusted? You start cleaning your rust. You start removing that rust. Even at home, you get the sandpaper and start cleaning the stuff. So what do you do with your cells? You forget to do this. Can we clean the rust? Absolutely. Let's start making conscientious decisions to minimize this. But how do we clean the rust? We clean the rust, and how do we change our cells to better? This is the perfect package, which is called the Vitality Stack. Why I am, as an MD, as a medical doctor, is extremely excited about Vitality Stack. I call Vitality Stack essential supplementation, meaning that something that needs to be, in my body and in my husband's body. Because number one is you need you need to clean the cells. You clean your house. You take out your garbage. So do exactly the same with your cells. And with aging and this cumulative a barrage of free radicals, what happens is your cellular cleaners or cleansers stop working. And you need to turn them on. So that's when we're going to talk about NRF2 activation. Then what you need to do, you need to rev up your cellular engine. How do you rev up your cellular engine? You tune up your mitochondria. Not only you tune up, you boost your mitochondria, but you also increase the numbers of your energy engines. So, and then what do? You lubricate the cells. And not only you lubricate the cells with your essential fatty acids or your omegas, but you also talk about cellular completeness or cellular integrity. And then the last part of the vitality stack, which is critically important, is our microgut, because I will tell you later that our microgut is our immune system regulator, as well as our second brain. Now, why I am, as Shawn told you, I'm an absolutely NRF2 fanatic, quote to quote, because I not only from this paper, which is one of the foundations of NRF2 reviews, I absolutely wholeheartedly believe that NRF2 upregulation is the future of medicine, be that a conventional medicine or alternative medicine. So guys, and we are the pioneers of NRF2 activation. We hold our hands on something that is extraordinarily amazing for me. So these are the last reviews. This is 2019 review on NRF2. I am a cancer diagnostician. I'm a laboratory oncologist. If I can have a handle on 32 cancer genes that can downregulate, if I can upregulate the NRF2 as being proactive. That's where my passion comes from, as well as NRF2 is a single hit. NRF2 turns on 250 survivor genes, and what does it do? It basically, it's like, it's a workup. You know, it's our cellular, it's a single hit that creates, upregulates our cellular workup. It's a multi-target. So, and then what do? Turning on the cellular activators or cellular vacuum cleaners. That's what you need to do. You clean that bucket. You clean that bucket of garbage, you clean that bucket of oxidative stress, which leads, if you don't, that bucket is going to spill into a whole bunch of common diseases. So now, why am I always talking dual synergizers? Because to me, this is 1 and 2 punch. Number one, clean the cells. And then number two, start working on the cellular engine. Now, for me, as a crazy about health, it has to be clean. So I know that NRF2 activator as well as NRF1 activator, they are not only scientifically validated, I'll show you later, but they both absolutely clean, and they carry the seal of Banned Substance Control Group approval, Banned Substance Control Group approval. Meaning that it's not only great for us, but it's also great for professional athletes. And also, both of them, NRF2 and NRF1 per tandem, they have a seal of NSF approval, Natural Sanitation Foundation. So my products are very, very clean. Now, that's basically what I told you. We are supported by 27 peer-reviewed studies, NRF2 per tandem. These studies are not on Google. They're not on blog, and that's what brings doctors. I run LifeVantage Doctors Group. In 2013, we started with 7 people. 7 people, couple physicians and couple nurses. I just ran our last LifeVantage Doctors Group in Charleston. We are over 1,000 registrants. Our group is run only by, you can join the group only by registration as the valid healthcare practitioner. 1,050 people with over 300 physicians. Why do you think physicians join LifeVantage? Well, physicians join LifeVantage because of the, and not only scientific validation, but the validity, the cleanliness, and the efficacy of the products. So 27 studies, with one of the biggest study, which is done on anti-aging. We are the only branded nutraceutical upregulator, not a supplement again. We are the only statistically proven cellular upregulator to increase average male mice longevity by 7%. That's huge. I do convert it in human years. That's over 5 years. That's awesome. Now, these are the studies. So look at the names of the universities. Studies being done at the Colorado State University. One of the biggest papers which came from American Heart Association. Harvard University did this study with a muscular dystrophy and on and on. 3 studies were done on skincare from Louisiana State Universities, and the studies are coming. Now, so we are done with, let's say, clean the cells. That's the foundation of your cellular health, is a clean cell. Now, mitochondria, the mighty mitochondria. Why is the mitochondria mighty? Because your mitochondria is your hardware, is your cellular computer, is your control tower that controls your DNA. You do not want to confuse mitochondria. You do not want to confuse control tower. However, mitochondria is also your cellular police. For the same token, good mitochondria recognizes bad cells and wipes them. You do not want to confuse mitochondria, and on top of it, we know that the mitochondria is our powerhouse. Now, obtaining NRF2 pretandem, cleaning the cells, is going to reboot your existing mitochondria. Amazing NRF2, NRF1 pretandem allows us to make the new mitochondria. And that is amazing because when you age, the number of your mitochondria goes down. You don't want them to go down. You want them to go up, to give you energy, to give you vitality, to give you youth. So 1 and 2. Now, let's talk about the microgut. Probiotics, the proper microflora, which starts from here, everywhere. It's on the skin, it's any air, it's any passages, and it's obviously the main that we know is the microgut. So the probiotics or probiota controls over 80% of our immune system, is responsible for over 80% of immune system and over 90% of our serotonin, which is a happy hormone, happy neurotransmitter. So now, before you even, everybody needs probiotics. That's, to me, that's a law. Despite that I ferment my foods, I make my own kefir and make my own kombucha. I absolutely believe that we need to activate, repopulate, and reboot our microgut. But the thing is, when you reboot your microgut and you bring this amazing 6 billion colonies of 5 species with the foundation why our probiotic is so different and so distinct, because it allows 60% of targeted delivery, because we have a protection from stomach acid. If you don't have the protection from stomach acid, your regular probiotics, even from a health food stores, 96% of them are going to be destroyed. Your yield is 4%. So not only we have 60% of delivery, but what separates our probiotic is a targeted delivery, meaning that the probiotics that are destined to small bowel, they end up in small bowel. And the probiotics that are destined to large bowel, they end up in a large bowel. However, why obtaining NRF1 and NRF2 pretandem is so critical? Well, because you need to clean the home. You need to clean the house. You need to bring these probiotics in a happy home. Why do you think people with ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease, and different colon dysfunctions, they have deficient microgut? Because the home is damaged. Why obtaining omegas is so critically important? Well, because omegas, those omega-3s, 6s, and 7s, and on top of it, we have additional vitamin D, it controls or retains the cellular integrity. The damaged cellular envelope, the damaged cellular membrane is going to lead to bad disease dysfunctional cell. You don't want that. That's number one. And it's in every cell. But what's important, why the cellular integrity is so important in the brain specifically, because of the signal conduction of this message. When the cells have preserved integrity, a proper functional cellular membrane, so that signal from one cell is properly conducted to another cell. Again, you do not want confused signal in your brain, right? That's number one. And number two, the brain foundation, the structure of the brain needs those fatty acids. Absolutely needs those fatty acids. So to me, the vitality stuff done. We discussed it. Now, brain drinks. We started with Axio calling it energy drink. Axio is not an energy drink. It's a whole lot more than that. Axio not only tastes great, and there are two versions. There's a caffeinated version and decaffeinated version. In Canada, we only have decaffeinated version, and I love the flavor. I absolutely love the taste. That is, the taste of Axio is the foundation of my hydration. Number one. Number two, what Axio does to me, and call me crazy, my Axio, see, this is a bottle of my Axio. 1 liter I do, I actually do 2 sticks per day, 2 liters. And that keeps my 2 liters of hydration. That gives me my essential hydration. Now, Axio, what does it give you? Axio gives you concentration, focus, calmness, and it also gives you the sustainability through the day. You don't go through ups and downs, the rushes and crashes. No, you are actually able to concentrate and focus. Look at this slide. This is a slide of autistic child, 10 days on NRF2 and Axio. Of course, this is going to clean the oxidative stress. This is going to upregulate the brain. However, we also know that Axio is an NRF2 activator as well. We never give Axio the proper respect it deserves. The mantra, the methodology of LifeVantage is NRF2 activation. So NRF2 activator, true science skincare regimen, which was supported by 3 studies from Louisiana State University, and then supported by as a beauty regimen by this almost 60 volunteers when they launched the product. Look at this percentage. It's an amazing, amazing regimen for ladies, for females and males, and it is a cleanser. It is a hydrating lotion. It's an eye serum and anti-aging cream. And you can ask Shawn a question, how many tabs of this cream his 3 girls use a month? A lot. Now, let me tell you, for me, who is absolutely crazy in clean products and stuff and how I choose my products. I love the ad that was introduced recently to us, and not an ad, an app, sorry. An app which is called Think Dirty. So that Think Dirty app, you can type the name of your product, the cream or shampoo or anything, and see how clean your product is. And it goes on the scale from 0 to 10. So my product is between 0 to 2. So that's what I teach, that's what I love, and that's what I represent. And True Science, NRF2 skincare regimen is absolutely amazing. Same mantra, brand new product, hair care regimen. Also, it's an amazing shampoo, it's an amazing conditioner, but it also has something very unique, which is called scalp serum. And the scalp serum is an NRF2 activator. And it upregulates your hair follicles, and it upregulates your skin, your scalp skin. Because guys, you need to understand, it's very hard to deliver the nutrients to our skin. The skin is the largest organ in the body. It's the first organ to be subjected to insults, but it is the last organ for nutrients. The nutrients are what is called centralized. So the first goes to brain, the heart, the liver, and the last one goes to skin. So that's why it is so critically important to apply this NRF2 activation and all the nutrients that are in True Science skincare regimen, in the True Science hair care regimen, into our skin, into our hair. Another validation is go on Think Dirty app and check out the score on our True Science hair care regimen. Again, it's between 0 and 2. How clean it is, how awesome it is. Well, guess whose head this is? Maybe this head belongs to Mr. Shawn Poe. Am I correct or am I correct? Now, I do have friends with a long hair, not like mine, and their main concern is the shedding of the hair. So this is a true sample. And some of my friends, there you go, somebody's showing the samples, some are showing the positive results of hair care regimen. So guys, so let me stop sharing. And before Shawn is going to go ahead with the business concept, why do you think the doctor, double MD, fully functional, in the consultation practice, why this doctor is doing network marketing? Well, guess what? I honestly believe, and despite, is there a connotation on network marketing? Absolutely. Why? Because it's done wrong. Because when people do it dishonestly, then it's done wrong. When people hype wrong money, then it's a negative connotation. However, network marketing is the best business and human model to help people and make some amazing second opportunity. Because when it's done right, when it's done with love, when it's done with high integrity, when it's done with high ethics, to me, that's the best model. But for me as an MD, having this concept of NRF2 activation as the future of medicine and upregulating of mitochondria as it's a cellular engine, it's a cellular functionality. And probiotics, my microgut, which is immune system, and the happiness. Like seriously, I'm the first, So that's my excitement. And how many lives have I changed in LifeVantage? As a laboratory oncologist, as a breast cancer diagnostician, I have a lot of power, and I break bad news. As a LifeVantage distributor, very proud business builder, I changed a lot of lives. And on this way, I made a lot of friends. Without LifeVantage, I would have never known Shawn Poe. I would have never known that heart. So guys, thank you so much.
Awesome. I appreciate you so much, Dr. Sveta Silverman. And, listening to that science and what we have our hands on every time, it blows me away, why everybody doesn't know about it yet. And the reality is that story has to be told, because people aren't walking into a GNC or a CVS or a Rite Aid and saying, hey, can I get a bottle of this stuff that reduces oxidative stress? It's still such a new concept. And even most medical professionals, you guys, you now know more about oxidative stress, reducing free radical damage, these different pathways in the bodies than most medical professionals at this point in time. But let me ask you this. In 5 years from now, do you think it's going to be more or less commonplace to people being in conversations about upregulating and downregulating genes? Because to me, it's going to get to the point where it's not a question of if you're doing it, it's how you're doing it. And that's the coolest thing for me on the business side of all of this is we know about this technology and the ability to upregulate and downregulate genes naturally than most people do at this point in time. And so I can't even contain myself with where we're headed. It to me is life-changing. And I know the business side isn't for everybody. And the reality is that there's a lot of people that this isn't going to be for on the business side. But when you think about the products themselves. When you think about consuming products that are going to increase the pharmacy that's naturally held inside of our bodies, to me, it's an absolute no-brainer that you're going to integrate these products into your health strategy. It's just a matter of how you're going to do it. And when I look at this biohacking revolution that's going on, that's what Sveta was talking about. Sveta's talking about it's not the ingredients of the products necessarily. It's not the pills themselves necessarily. It's their ability to unlock the body's potential. And that's what I love about all of this. You guys, my expertise isn't like Sveta. I'm not a medical professional. My business background is corporate America. But when I start to hear about the American Heart Association, Harvard, Texas Tech, LSU, all these studies that are being done, and when you can have a surgical pathologist and a cardiologist and tons of different medical professionals explain the importance of the science behind this, that's what enthralls me. That's what makes me so passionate about sharing this with other people. So the reality is if you're going to integrate this into your health strategy, how do you do it? And there's only one of two ways, because again, you can't go on the shelves anymore and buy these products. You have to either get them as a consumer from a distributor or as a distributor. So if you're just wanting to consume the products, you guys, 90% of our business is customer based. And I love that for the simple fact that not everybody's going to see the business like we see it. And what I would suggest with you is if you're just looking to consume the products, look at that middle area there right now, the Vitality Stack. For $5 a day, you guys, you can overhaul your health. You can overhaul the body's ability to take care of some of the stressors that we're putting on it. I'm, again, not a medical professional, so from the finance guy, NRF1, that's the increasing the health and the quantity of the mitochondria, the energy, the powerhouse of the cells. But then you've got to have the NRF2 that's going to take care of that toxic load, the toxic burden that's on our cells, the garbage. And then the omegas. You guys, we don't get, I was just doing a meeting the other night with a different doctor, and he made the comment that in decades of practice, he hadn't had one patient ever that he tested their blood that had the proper omega levels without some sort of supplementation. So you guys, people are already consuming omegas, but you want to have the quality and the purity that we have our hands on. And then the probiotic. You guys, gut health. It's so important. If your gut is not healthy, your overall health is not going to be where you want it to be. Your immune health is not going to be where you want it to be. So those products bundled together for $5 a day, I dare you to show me another strategy that you have in place for $5 a day that would improve your health with the potential of what we have our hands on here. Now, on the business side, you guys, 90% of our business is customer based. But again, 10% of the people that we share this with, they have some sort of desire to share this with other people. And what I have on the screen right now is called the S-curve. And I don't care what product or business or industry it is or service. New technology, new things that come to the marketplace always go through this S-curve if it lasts long enough. 4 out of 5 businesses we know fail within the first couple of years, but things that do last go through this S-curve. And I always look with my background, you guys, I came out of graduate school, got my security licenses with Wells Fargo. When we moved to South Dakota in 2006, I switched over to Citi, and I did corporate treasury with them where we were moving billions of dollars every single day. I understand how business works. And you can look at past examples to really get a viewpoint into the future, a looking glass into where things are going. And so if you look at technology and things that have changed and gone through this S-curve, you can understand that where we are with this technology, with NRF2, with NRF1, with Axio, all of this stuff upregulated and downregulating different genes in the bodies, we're at the very beginning of this curve. So where does that put you potentially knowing that before the average person? Well, let me ask you this. If I was to tell you you could go back in time 10 years ago and you had all of the knowledge about the iPhone and smartphones and how that would impact people's lives, would you make different decisions today having that knowledge up front? I think the obvious answer is absolutely yes. You would make different business decisions today based on the knowledge of where it was headed in 10 years from now. So the iPhone, the original iPhone, how many people knew about it? How many people had it? Well, smartphone technology 10 years ago, nobody really knew about it. And the average person didn't know for sure. It was the gadget guy or the innovators, the people that were ahead of the curve. And even the iPhone 2, the iPhone 3, you guys, not very many people had adopted that technology. So around the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5, the iPhone 6, that's where it went through this huge momentum curve that the average person started adopting smartphone technology into their daily life. And now we're sitting 10 years later with the iPhone 8, the iPhone X, and you've either had the product, you've had an iPhone at some point in time, one of the models, or you at least know what smartphone technology is. So again, ask yourself the question, if NERF 2 and NERF 1, these pathways in the bodies, upregulating, downregulating genes, is such a big deal and the average person doesn't know about it, how could that position you to have huge drastic changes in your life on the business side 10 years from now? Because again, I'll contend all day long, it's not going to be a matter of if people are consuming products that change their genetics, it's going to be which ones that they're using. So with LifeVantage, you guys, when I came in, and Sveta kind of made this comment as well too, there's negative connotations sometimes attached to network marketing. And I was one of those people. I didn't understand it, and it came down to education. I honestly didn't even think that you could make money doing this sort of business. And my joke with Michelle was, hey, we'll be successful network marketers. We'll get a $20 check and get a bottle of wine in a Redbox movie. That will be success as network marketers. I didn't understand this part of it, the income disclosure summary that I have on the screen right now. In our company, the ranks go from Pro 1 to Pro 10, and we know by the different ranks in the company what somebody's going to make at each one of these ranks on average. And so you look at the ranks of Pro 1, Pro 2, and Pro 3, that to me is part-time income. The last 3 years I was in corporate America and managed the defaulted student loan portfolio for Citigroup. And it was just under $1 billion portfolio. And I know this because of the litigation and the collection efforts we did on that portfolio, is the average bankruptcy in the United States could be avoided with an extra couple $100s a month. That's a scary statistic, you guys, that an extra couple $100s a month is the difference between somebody claiming bankruptcy and making it through the next month. But that's reality. And so if I could roadmap out somebody how to make $80, excuse me, or $260, or just under $600 a month, do you not think that a lot of people would gravitate towards that? And I know this is that if you're not in that situation, you do have friends and family going to bed tonight praying for something to change in their life. That's the reality of the world that we live in today. And we're open books, I think, as a society about the health things that are going on inside of our bodies. What we talk about behind closed doors is financial stress. But all the education that you just got at the beginning of this from Dr. Sveta on how disruptive oxidative stress is, I'll say that financial stress is just as destructive to people's health and their relationships as well. Do you not know people that the financial struggles that they deal with are so strong that it affects not only the relationships in their life, but their health? And then look at the ranks of like Pro 4 and 5, $1,200, $2,500 a month. You guys, to me, that's supplemental income. We have a whole host, a generation of people coming up to retire, the baby boomers, and the retirement world is not what it looked like 30 or 40 years ago, right? There used to be this symbiotic relationship between employees and employers where you work and you have that loyalty to a company for 30 or 40 years as an employee and work your way up the ladder and just be a great employee. At the end of it, you have a pension waiting for you and they take care of you during your golden years. Well, the reality is today in 2019, that isn't the case, right? More and more pensions are disappearing all the time that exist. And most of the people, there isn't one that existed to begin with. And most people don't have a 30-year relationship with any kind of employer. So when they come to retirement, if they don't have the money in investments or stowed away, how do they live the same lifestyle that they're accustomed to, right? Social Security definitely isn't going to offset their current lifestyle. So if we could roadmap out $1,200 or $2,500, I think a lot of people would be into that. And then for me, I wanted out of corporate America, you guys. I wasn't the husband I should have been. I wasn't the dad I should have been. I was slowly being, I would say my soul sucked out of me because of the environment that I was in, but I didn't know how to get out of it. And so I was looking to replace that income. And I didn't think that network marketing was an option or the vehicle, but the reality is it can be. Look at the ranks of like Pro 5, 6, and 7, $2,500, $6,000, $11,000 a month. Would that not replace most people's household income somewhere in there? And then the ranks of Pro 8, 9, and 10, you guys, $20,000, $40,000, $100,000 a month. That's what I didn't understand about this profession or this industry is the real money involved if you take it serious and treat it like a business. And the reality is we had the information that you heard tonight 8 years ago, but we did something with it. And my wife and I, we've created a business that gave us something very, very different than the options we had 8 years ago. Within the first 12 months, we hit the ranks of Pro 7. 12 months after that, we hit the rank of Pro 8. 12 months after that, we had 2 different businesses that were at the Pro 8 level. We now currently have one that's Pro 9, one that's Pro 8, and one that has a volume of Pro 7. And I'm not telling you any of that to brag about what we've done. I want to highlight the point that when we got involved, we didn't understand the first thing about network marketing, and we didn't know the first thing about nutraceuticals. But what I know in business is this, is if there's a roadmap, a business process in place that you can pick up and run with, you can have the same results that other people have. And that's what I love about the network marketing model is unlike the corporate world where I traded time for money and I was actually financially incentivized not to tell my peers why I was good at what I did because I would get the next raise. I would get the next promotion if I didn't, right? And so you're separating yourself from your peers. In this type of business model, you guys, how it works is success is tied to helping other people be successful. That's how business should work. That's how life should work, you guys. Is helping other people be great people. And some people, they come in and they just want the health benefits. And I totally get that. The products are amazing. Integrate them into your health strategy. But some people are asking themselves, is there something bigger? Is there something better out there for me? What if I made the decision and I faced the fear of doing something different? Could it impact my life? And that's where most people get held up is the what ifs. But let me ask you this, what if? What if the information tonight that you heard from Dr. Sveta is actually completely true? What if you think about the option of sharing this with other people and it could transform your life? What if? I know that time's going to pass regardless what decision anybody makes tonight. I mean, I blink and it seems like it's a new month. I blink and it seems like we went from winter to summer. But the reality is if I stay in the same situation and I do the same things, I'm going to get the same results. But we made a decision 8 years ago to really, really make a huge difference in our life and change things up, and it completely transformed everything. I was able to walk away from the corporate world in 9 months, you guys. And the reason I'm so passionate and why I work as hard as I do today is because I want as many people to come through that window as possible and to have the same results, if that's what you're looking for. And I know that this is just the tip of the iceberg. We're impacting tens of thousands of people on a monthly basis, but it'll move towards hundreds of thousands of people and millions of people in a month. And I don't know what else I could do, what other impact I could leave that sort of footprint on the world and change people's lives. Now, on the business side, I'm not going to get into all the details, but you'll often hear in network marketing that people say, well, only the people in the beginning or only the people at the top make money. Well, the reality is you just saw the income disclosure statement. There's people at all the different ranks in our company making money. And what I love that separates our company out from a lot of what I've seen is this elite bonus pool in the bottom right, where it doesn't matter when you get involved. It doesn't matter if you were the first distributor or you signed up 3 months ago. When you hit the ranks of Pro 7 in the company, you start participating in all the work that's ever been done. And I want you to understand about business one thing tonight, if nothing else, is the difference between trading time for money and linear income and leveraged or residual income. Because the reality is this, is I only knew one way to get paid really until I was in my mid-30s, and that was trading time for money. I showed up, 2 weeks later, I got a check. I showed up again, 2 weeks later, I got a check. Well, I stopped showing up in January of 2012. Guess what they stopped doing? They stopped sending me checks. Well, the reality is when you can create a residual or leveraged income in your life, you get paid over and over and over again for work that you did in the past. So if you have consumable products that are superior to what people are already taking and they have positive benefits taking them, what do you think they're going to do? They're going to continue to take them, and they're going to tell other people. And that's what I love about our business model is our products are so good. I know that when people integrate it into their health strategy, they're going to continue to take them. And when they fall in love with the products and become a product of the products, they're going to tell other people. And that's what snowballed into a business for Michelle and I. We weren't looking to do another business. I had a full-time job. She had a full-time job. We had an online business, 2 little kids. Our days were packed. But when we get excited and passionate about something that other people know about, we naturally shared it. And it turned into a business for us. And so if you want to do the business, you guys, there's a couple different ways that you can get started. There's 3 different packs. There's a silver pack, a gold pack, a platinum pack, $350, $650, $1,250. And the reality is if I had to start again tomorrow, I know I would get that platinum pack. But get in where you fit in. Get in where you see fit. The reality is with that platinum pack, you get so much product in there. I know what happens. You start getting the product into your body, your family's body, you're going to have positive benefits that happen and create your story and get excited like we were. And then with that platinum pack as well, it's at such a discounted rate. Even if you didn't get off the starting line with the products themselves, you have your money back in product. And that's the only reason, honestly, Michelle and I got the pack that we got when we got involved, was because we knew we were going to take the products. We wanted our parents to take the products. So we're just prepaying for product that we're already going to take and getting the discount for it. But I thank God every single day that we made that decision, because unbeknownst to us, as we shared that, it turned into us having our hands on a multi-million-dollar business. And that's what I don't think most people understand. What else could you do in 2019 to have your hands on a potential multi-million-dollar business for $1,250? And the cool thing about this business, again, is, yeah, you get your money back in product. Yes, if you don't get off the starting line, you're still good. But the reality is you could come in like Michelle and I did, not knowing the first thing about network marketing, not knowing the first thing about nutraceuticals, and have success because there's a system in place and there's other people like Dr. Sveta Silverman who have your back, who know what they're doing. They understand the science. They know how to relate it and share the information. My expertise lies on the business side, you guys, in how to structure and form business and how to analyze the numbers and the figures behind it. And we all, as a group, we work together to celebrate each other's strengths to help you have the success that you want to have. And some people, it is a couple extra $100 a month. Some people, it is a couple thousand. Some people want that full-time replacing income. And I'm telling you, the sky's the limit. There's life-changing things that you have potentially on the horizon. But again, you have to ask yourself this: what am I going to do with the information that I've heard tonight? Because there's some people that sit back and they listen to the information and they don't make a decision. They analyze it and they decide, okay, what about this? And then they research it for another 6 or 9 months. And then 2 years later, they still haven't made a decision. I see this every day. You guys, some of the people we sign up today, we've talked to them for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. It's unbelievable. The thing that got me at that meeting I heard 8 years ago was asking myself, what if? What if everything that they're saying is true? Am I going to look back in 5 years from now and see somebody else have the success that I wanted to have in my life, or change their health in a way that I can't go back and now change? Those were the questions that I was asking myself. I was probably the most skeptical guy in the room. I'll tell you that. I'll be open and honest about that. But I'll tell you, with my skepticism, I'm open-minded in everything. I'll listen to the information and see where it fits in with my life. And that's all that I ask of you tonight, is where does this fit in for you? and get back to the person that introduced this to you and let them know. You're going to fall into one of three categories, you guys. It's not for you. Totally cool if it's not for you. Okay, let the person know. But I would ask you this, if it's not for you, if something changes in your life and it becomes for you, get back with the person that introduced it to you first. And then if we have new products that come out or new science, maybe every 4 months or so, we just update you on where the business is at. And if you have questions, that's the second category. You don't know if it's for you or not. I will contend all day long, people like Dr. Sveta Silverman are a better source of information, or the American Heart Association. Who's going to argue the American Heart Association is not a valid resource? Let us know what your questions are so we can pinpoint you to where you can get the correct answers to your questions. Google's great, but you can find all sorts of information out there. And I'll tell you, Dr. Sveta's way sharper than a blogger you're going to find about NRF2. So let us know what the questions are, whether it's the products or the science or the business. We can answer them. I'm a completely open book. And then the third category, you're ready to get started. You're excited about what you have your hands on, what you heard tonight. You're Rolodexing other people in your head that have to hear this information. Let us know that, and we can set you up right away as a customer, get you started maybe on that vitality stack, change your health with $5 a day, or on the business side. Let us know that too. I'm telling you guys, in 5 years from now, I believe this with all my heart. It is not going to be a matter of if people are upregulating and downregulating genes. It's how they're doing it. And we have such a head start on every other company that comes into the field. It's not even funny. And I love the fact that we're positioned here right now with a huge trend, a huge shift that's happening on health. We're trying to become more and more proactive about our health, not reactive, dealing with the problems that Sveta sees under a microscope. We want to take care of them when our body's healthy, and we're positioned with natural products that do that. And then on the other side, on the business side, look at the changes that are happening on the business side, you guys. I walked into a Sears yesterday that I thought was filled with Sears Robux products. And guess what? That century-old company disappeared. And inside of that store was a bunch of RV campers parked inside there to utilize the space. The business world has changed. But are people consuming less products? Absolutely not. They're not. Look at Toys R Us. Went bankrupt last year. 2018 went bankrupt. Did people buy less toys than they did in the 70s or 80s or 90s or early 2000s? No. It's just how they consume those products. They get them direct from a distribution center to their house. What do you think Amazon is? Amazon's a giant network of distribution centers that take product and ship them directly to you. And that's exactly what we do. Our specialty, our space is just in nutrigenomics. And that's what I love about all of this is we have so many shifts in the marketplace that are happening, and we're positioned to take advantage of that. So get back with the person that introduced this to you. Let them know where you stand. I want to thank you for your time tonight listening to this, because that's the most important thing to me, is translating the information, the education to you. What you do with it is completely up to you. But I also want to thank Dr. Sveta Silverman. I know she's had an absolutely crazy day. She has a full-time job, and then she does another full-time job to change people's lives. And we love you. We are excited to travel the world with you. And we can't wait to see what this holds for everybody else that's on this tonight listening. So with that, I'll wrap it up, and thanks again. Appreciate you, Dr. Sveta. Appreciate especially all the guests that are on, either listening to this live or listening to the replay. This is why we do that, is to educate you. So thank you. We're here to help. Let us know how we can help you. Take care.